All right, this is Davin Sundvik with the Catch Today, and we're going to be going over shot patterns with hand-loaded black powder brass lugs. Now, if you can't tell, this shell is like super dirty, so I'm going to have to clean them immediately. I literally just got back from shooting like 30 minutes ago, but I want to film this video to just kind of go over different shot patterns. So just in case you can't read my handwriting, I'm going to have it off to the side, but I can see on the camera that you can see the shot pattern fairly well. So this was the first load. It wasn't necessarily like a light load. It was almost like a high velocity load. And we're loading 4 drams of 1F black powder, 1¼ ounce, this out of 10 gauge, and we're shooting 7.5 shot lead. I just rounded it to 7 shot lead, just for the sake of brevity on my handwriting, but I know what it is. And so all I did in order to get this load was I took some of the best results out of this 10 gauge brass shot shell like reloading manual, and then I just kind of adjusted the figures a little bit to adjust for the slightly lighter weight. And in my opinion, I think this shot probably the best. I think I'm going to keep shooting this load for doves and for lightweight shot. My next load was this 4.5 dram, 1.5 ounce 4-shot bismuth load. I really like the pattern. The only thing that I notice is that there's like all of these like little powder hits inside of the target. And so I think some of my black powder is actually moving through the BBs as the gun's going off. So I'm going to try this load again, but with 4 drams instead of 4.5 drams, just to see if I can't make it any better in the future. But overall, I don't think I'm like unpleased with this one. So we'll keep on moving forward. Next we have the 7-shot 1.5 ounce 4.5 dram. This is like that Magnum load, but with 7-shot. And I also got kind of like a weird pattern out of it too, kind of like a little gap in the middle. This one was off to the right, so off to the left. So maybe I was just off on that particular shot, because this one was a little bit better. I just shot this one I shot that previous one out of the underbarrel, this one out of the top barrel. That top barrel seems to just be patterning a little bit better. So I don't know like what's going on. I'll have to investigate that underbarrel a little bit later, but at least I know that top barrel is performing with either load. But it's just like, if I could save a little bit of money and get almost the exact same pattern, like why not? So both patterns were acceptable in the 7.5 shot, with either 4 drams or 4.5 drams of powder in either 1¼ ounce or 1.5 ounces a shot. So both of them were fine for the 10 gauge. Next we'll move on. Sorry guys. Next we'll move on to the 410. 410, what we're loading is kind of a weird shot here. So unfortunately, the amount of fiber wad that I get is so dang thick that I literally couldn't fit enough powder in. And then I'd redone some load data, and I kind of realized that maybe I was a little bit high on my powder charge and that I could go a little bit lower. So I'm going to try that in the future here. But we got about 1.5 drams of powder for 0.45 ounces a shot, which is a little bit high on the powder side, looking back on it. So I'm going to maybe adjust that down to 1 dram or 1.5 drams just to see if that makes a difference. And if I can get some extra volume, then I can maybe fit a better fiber wad in there. But this was at 35 yards, and so I was a little bit unpleased with the pattern with 7-shot lead at this distance. But then it moved into 30 yards. And while there is like a small gap right here and a small gap right there, most of this pattern would have killed a dove, which is the goal of this load. And so I'm not 100% pleased at 30 yards, but then we move into 25 yards, and other than this little patch right here, it's just mostly a little bit low, and that could have been just me holding the gun slightly low. Everything that is in this kind of area of the target would have been a dead dove. So that is the goal. There is a slight little patch of no powder. Sorry, no pellets hitting right there. So Yeah. But then we move into 20 yards, which a lot of people say if you take the amount, if you take 1/8 ounce of shot, and then you multiply it by 5 yards, right? And you take your load, that should be about an appropriate distance. And then we hit 20 yards and suddenly our pattern's right on. I mean, there's no area on this target where a dove could fly and not get hit by a pellet other than this little spot right here. I mean, and honestly, like when it comes to shotgun shooting, I think that's pretty impressive. Just to have a little bit, and we even have some pellets scattered off to the left over here, and I am shooting out of the left barrel, so maybe the left barrel shoots a little left, the right barrel shoots a little right. Not the end of the world. So, and just for clarity's sake, that's the size of the 410 shot shell compared to the size of the 10 gauge shot shell. The 10 gauge has no problem with volume, in my opinion, at this length. I mean, it's only maybe 5/8 or of an inch, or maybe 3/8 of an inch longer. And then you can fit Magnum level loads in this, no problem. I'm so pleased with hand loading the 10 gauge. These 410s, I think I'm gonna have to leave these 2.5 inch 410 brass loads for like specialty kinds of ammo, like target shooting, like if I want to save a bunch of money and just load them very light on the powder in order to get a better pattern out of them, or for doves. And then if we want to do anything else other than like some dove hunting, like if we want to do rabbit or pheasant or quail, just like knowing that you got to keep it to close range or use plastic hulls in order to load just a little bit more shot into them. And maybe get like that true 1/2 ounce or even like 5/8 ounce of shot at them, just to kind of increase that range out to maybe like 25 yards or 30 yards and get it really effective for things like that. But other than that, I think it's just going to be a close range gun and a close range load overall, but a little bit of adjustments to make. Next time I make a video regarding black powder, I'll do kind of like a load development video. And so I do appreciate you watching, and have a great day.